Is that all right? Yes. Pete's giving me the thumbs up. It's quite funny. This camera, Facebook changes things all the time. And we kind of look at it and go, is that okay? Should we do that? And I've just realized that the camera on my phone is at the bottom, but because I'm so short, it's actually at the right level for me. So that's good. Anyway, welcome to Facebook Live. It's Liz here from Pinhole Quilting and Pete behind the camera. You won't see him. You'll just hear his voice. Anyway, I hope you're having a lovely day. Wherever you are in the world, welcome to our Pinhole Quilting Showroom here in Pershore. Rainy, grey, dull, autumn, summer in England. Wherever you are on holiday, I hope that you're staying dry. If you're camping, I hope it's not too wet and not flooded. If you're coming to our Pinhole Quilting Showroom, do not go through the Ford Ola. Do not go through the Ford. Whatever you do, you were very lucky. When our lovely friend Ola came earlier this week, she did come to the showroom. She test drove our Amara. It was sunny. Ola, if you came back tomorrow, you would be coming back through a flooded Ford, sea Ford. It floods. You wouldn't be very happy if you drove through the Ford. Anyway, what we're very happy about this week is that we've been very, very busy, but we've been busy with lots of stuff. We've been busy here at Pinhole Quilting. We've been busy doing other stuff as well, and we've been quite busy with family stuff too. So anyway, that's good. Everything's good in that respect. But we have been busy with family stuff too. Little ones, little baby, 6-week-old grandchild, Patrick, little Patrick, snuggly little Patrick, and little 2.5-year-old family, little Emily have been keeping us busy. So that's been lovely. And I'm sure many of you will have family and friends. It's bank holiday weekend coming up shortly. So whatever you're doing, we hope that you have some lovely time with family and friends. Very important part of our lives, aren't they? Right. Anyway, onward with our demonstrations. I'm standing in front of an Amara. This is our lovely 20-inch long arm Handi Quilter Amara. And Pete said this morning, he said, we really need to do some sewing. I do far too much talking. So that's what we're going to do today. But I wanted to, at the end, I'm going to wrap up with some other things that we're going to do in the future. We're going to talk about some shows. But this week, we're going to have some offers. And in order to tell you about the offers, I'm going to do some demonstrations. Do you want to say anything, Pete? Do you want to talk about... Oh, I'm going to get my coffee while Pete's going to... Oh, he's busy. He's busy. So
I'm still busy getting things sorted.
Oh,
behind the scenes. Hive of activity.
I have to just keep things ticking away while he's getting things ready.
Well, you're good at the talky bit.
He says, I'm good at the talky bit. Ain't that the truth? I'm good at the talky bit. I'm very good at the talky bit. I just keep talking. And we've discovered, Pete and I, that little granddaughter Emily is also very good at the talky bit. Emily does not stop talking. She and I, we've got a strong competition going on for the talky bit. So I think she's going to be on a par. I've got on this Amara, one of the new magnets that we launched last week. And if you didn't watch our Facebook Live last week, just to show you that we've got these rectangular magnets, very good for aligning the needle. And particularly for those people who find alignment of the needle on their long arm a little bit tricky, when you put a new needle in, it's really important that you get it absolutely aligned so that when you're standing in front of your long arm, the long groove that runs down the front of the needle is facing you, and it's not like a domestic needle. Now, with a domestic needle, the needle has normally on a domestic needle, oh, this is a very useful pen. Hey, this is a very useful pen, Pete. It's got on a domestic needle, it's actually got a flat, useful pen. And it's purple. Isn't that useful? It's got a flat.
Why is it useful?
Because it's got a flat.
And why is that so useful? Because
I'm going to compare it. Like, this is like a domestic needle that has a flat on one part. It's a useful prop. It has a flat on a domestic needle so that when you put it in to your domestic machine, you can't get the alignment wrong. So this is a domestic needle comparison. And if I'm just going to get a completely round one. Here's a completely round one. This is your Handi Quilter needle. This is a Panda pencil. It's completely round. And you can get it in any which way you like. Whereas with this one, there's only one way it can go in. So with a domestic needle, you get it in the right way, that's no problem. But with this one, 365-degree rotation. And with this one, we just could get it in anyway. So with the magnet, we can find that if you use this magnet, it actually aligns to the flat where the groove is. So that when we put the magnet on, if it's perfectly aligned, that magnet is pointing towards me because it is perfectly put in. So these are £5. And we got them in last week and they're very, very useful. So if you're ordering from us, I would suggest, we've been using them for timing when we service the machines, and they have been invaluable because when we time the machines, it's very important that we time them with the needle perfectly aligned. So I would suggest adding one to your order. You will find it very, very useful. That's product number 1, magnets for aligning your needle.
Okay, so Claire, you got what Liz was talking about and I didn't. Well, isn't that just the normal husband and wife situation? About the flat on the bed.
Which Claire?
Claire, what's gone? It's Claire Shortland, yes.
Thank you, Claire.
Yes,
thank you
good.
for supporting me in my domestic versus industrial needle comparison.
Anyway, let's say hello to a few people. Yeah, very good.
Thank you.
Jane Morley in Southsea. Hope you're getting on okay with your new Insight table,
yes.
Jane. Hilary Levette is with us. Val,
good.
Val
Hi,
Brooks,
Hilary.
usually one of the first. Lindsay Cash.
Yeah. Oh, Lilith. Hi. Hi, Lindsay.
In Switzerland.
In Switzerland. Always lovely to hear from you, Lindsay.
Maya from Chepstow. Very wet Chepstow, apparently.
Oh, about.
Kate Irving, raining
hi, Kate.
Raining in
We were
Belfast.
talking about you when we were at the NEC. Hi, Kate.
And Linda Jackson is with... Hello, Linda.
Hi, Linda.
Oh dear. How did I do that?
Oh, God,
you're looking at me. Got me on camera. I must have... I was just trying to scroll through the comments.
Oh, this is great.
And instead I've changed it around.
I'm not going to tell him how to send it back.
Oh, there we go.
Ah.
Get back in the picture.
Oh, we worked out the button, everybody. I wasn't going to help him.
Who else we got? Lynn Cook.
Hi, Lynn.
Joe Lovell.
Hi, Joe.
Carol Bealey.
Hello, Carol.
It's very difficult to scroll on here.
You might press the button again. You got to see Pete.
Leslie Gregg. Hi, Leslie from South Shields. Lindy. Hi, Lindy.
Hi, Lindy.
Joyce from Massachusetts.
Oh, hi, Joyce. Just down the road from Handi Quilter Educator.
Yes.
Yes.
Barbara's been to see us this week.
Oh, yes, Barbara, who's a very interesting husband. Well, both Barbara and her husband were very interesting. Electroplating.
Okay, and Hazel Gray. Hazel, yes. She's just placed her order.
Exciting. Very exciting.
We've got an installation date set up for you now,
Yes,
Hazel, so that'll be done.
Yep, Derek will be coming over.
Diane, who's going to be getting soon into her Moxie training sessions.
Yes.
Up there on the Wirral.
Yes. That's really exciting.
And Jane Morley, wow, Jane, I'm impressed. She's finished her first quilt on her new Insight table this week.
Oh gosh, that's brilliant.
John Cole Morgan, hi John.
Hi John. Hi.
And wee Jeannie.
Hi John. The answer's 42. Why am I here?
Wee Jean is with us.
Why am I here? Every time I play that yoga video, why am I here?
Anyway, I can't catch everybody, particularly on this small screen. It's very difficult to see all that.
John, you make me laugh every time I replay that yoga video. Right.
Right. Come on.
Okay. Hello, everybody. Right. So, Handi Quilter Mara, 20-inch long arm. Beautiful. It's got adjustable, beautiful handles. We can move it in. We can move it around. It's just like fantastic for micro quilting. And it's got programmable. I'm going to forget all my words today, Pete, because it's been a busy week, hasn't it, Pete?
Well, you get up too early in the morning, so that's your problem.
4:15 this morning, ahead of the 2.5-year-old. Okay, so this is, that's right. I've done half a day's work already. I've done almost a whole day's work. So the Amara is a beautiful machine. I mean, it's so smooth. I'm just going to put the needle down. And the other thing about the Amara is it's fast. So even our very fast stitchers love it. And we can change the stitch length. We're in precision at the moment. So literally start and stop, and it stops. Or we can have it in cruise. So on the cruise, or continuous, as some of our customers. Actually, it's Judy that started me on that. I like continuous. Continuous, how many stitches does it continuously? So even when we pause, I know the Americans weren't like that, but that's like an American, I think that's going to be called, that's going to be like my English way of doing it. I've got the ruler base on. I'm just going to whip that off actually. You see, you can take that off even when you've got a quilt on. The ruler base is very useful for ruler work, but not so good. I've got the micro foot on today. Do you want to have a quick zoom in on that piece? So the micro foot is great for being able to see very, very well the needle. It's perfect for micro quilting. At the moment, I've got Glide 40 on there, which is just a lovely all-round thread. If I was going to do very, very fine work, I would probably go for a finer thread. I would go for a smaller stitch length. These are all the kind of things that we're going to cover on some of our rulers, feathers and fills class, and also on the ambassador event with Linda, of which more details will follow. I've just sent some information through to Linda, and when she's had a chance to read it, I will give her more than 5 minutes to read it, because I've literally just sent it before we went online today.
So Judy says, no copyright on my ideas, Liz. That's just Judy, as well, Judy.
By the way, you know, at the moment, anybody who drives around Worcestershire and Birmingham at the moment will know there are a ton of roadworks. And Judy, Judy's husband, otherwise known as the hired help, Judy and her husband are hilarious. And Judy's husband, the hired help, works at Cowton Court. And Judy, I drove past Cowton Court, and as I drove past, I just thought, because of a diversion, I just thought, what an amazing building. And I will be dropping around some of our books, my books, that I no longer need. And I will be taking you up on your kind offer on the short history of Cowton Court with your husband, because...
So Cowton Court is a local, very interesting historic property connected with the Civil War.
Yeah, Google it. It's really close to here.
Like Coughton, C-O-U-G-H-T-O-N, Court.
And Judy's husband, he runs the bookstore there, secondhand, and all the proceeds go back towards the upkeep of the building, which of course during lockdown has not been open very much. It's a National Trust property, but actually, it has the most fascinating history because it was primarily a Catholic, that's not a word, a Catholic family. So this is kind of not an easy place to live during the Civil War. And anyway, I'm really looking forward to going there. So Judy, I'll follow up with you. I digress. This is Cruise.
Otherwise known as continuous.
Judy. And the lovely thing about this mode is it just flows. And then of course we've also got manual. So manual, we can start off at a slower speed.
Let's try and get you in on the action here.
don't think I've kind of got my head in gear of what designs I'm doing at the moment. But anyway, that's just me playing. And I haven't got my muscle memory going. I should have done some drawings.
So Rosemary has already Googled Coughton Court, which describes it as an imposing Tudor house set in beautiful gardens with a collection of Catholic treasures.
Yes.
And that, of course, inevitably means the occasional priest hole.
It does. It does. Well, they had to. And along with another amazing, amazing National Trust property, Baddesley Clinton, of which Abigail will know a bit more, which we won't talk about. But Baddesley Clinton, I remember when Baddesley Clinton just became a National Trust property, I think I was one of the first people to go there, actually, because it's really close to where I used to live. And I used to cycle around between Baddesley Clinton and Packwood House, because it was like my backyard for cycling when I was 12, 13, 14. I used to live out at Hockley Heath. And I was into photography, and I have this most amazing picture of Baddesley when it was first became National Trust. And I think it was about 13 or 14, and I've got a gorgeous picture of the swan in the moat. And they just renovated the moat and got water back into it because it was so overgrown when they took it over. And if ever you get the chance, if you've never been to Baddesley, Packwood and Coughton, go. There we go. A little bit of local history as well, just thrown in.
So Claire, yes, it was interesting, wasn't it, watching that live stitching? It hardly looked as if the needle was moving at all. In fact, it was going very quickly. I don't know what speed you had it on there, Liz.
Oh, that was 1700.
1700.
Goes up to 2.5.
The camera can only do 50 frames per second, so you only get a very strange representation of the speed of the machine, and it did look very slow, but it was actually going very quickly.
Yeah, even more impressive is the one next door, which is the Infinity, which is 3,100 stitches per minute. No chance for the camera to keep up with that one.
So yes, there's also a gunpowder plot exhibition at Coughton Court too.
Ah, yes. Yeah, it's all fascinating stuff. And of course, there was the Battle of Worcester. And in fact, Pete, when they did the reenactment in around Worcester, didn't they find a cannonball in the backfield?
They did.
They did.
They did.
They found a cannonball in the field, like where we live, 3 minutes drive from here. Found a cannonball. And they did, because there's all the twisted, is it sealed knot? I was about to say twisted knot, that's not the right thing. Sealed knot, which is a reenactment society where they wear all the traditional, they make flax costumes, made from traditional materials, and they have people who dress up in all. There's probably people who are watching this that do that, and they wear all of the same costumes that people would have worn at the time. I remember going to Sudeley Castle, which is just not that far from here as well, towards Winchcombe. And I remember going there as a teenager and watching the whole reenactment of battles and things. If you're visiting the UK and you live abroad, definitely look out for those reenactments. And hopefully, sort of post-COVID, if you get the opportunity to come, go to one of those, because they are amazingly realistic. And I know we have got customers who definitely do those reenactments. Then they're absolutely brilliant. And in fact, when Hazel came down from Edinburgh, I gave her a quick tour of Pershore. And down at the far end of Pershore, where there's the little bridges, there's like a packhorse bridge. And wasn't it part of the Battle of Worcester, Pete? I think there was a standoff on that packhorse bridge as part of the Civil War. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay,
a couple more things, Liz, here. Leslie Rendell, morning Leslie, says that there is a church near here with a cannonball embedded in the wall. Ooh. I'm not aware of that. Leslie, I'll have to do some research on that.
Yeah.
You can't remember which one.
Yeah, and also, talking about the churches, I need to do... Talking about the churches, the other thing, I know this is not... Because all our customers are very interested in these sort of things. When we do wedding photography as well as this, and we were doing a beautiful wedding last year. We only did one because they were all cancelled, and we did one in Fladbury, beautiful place called Fladbury, not very far from here. And when we were in the church, both of us were stunned by the windows in the church, and it was by a guy called Frederick Preedy, and we picked up, or I was given actually by the warden, this leaflet. And I'm going to put details because some of our customers love this sort of stuff. We did because it was just amazing. While I was doing the wedding, Pete was taking photographs down on the ground, and I went up the bell tower. It's a bit scary actually. So I got some fantastic photographs up there, but this guy, Frederick Preedy, did the most amazing stained glass churches. He was an architect, and I will put details of this on our website. He was a Victorian architect, and it's the Evesham Preedy Trail. So that's something else. If anybody comes here and is interested in stained glass work, his work is outstanding. Absolutely beautiful.
So going back to your previous comment, Liz, you were quite right. Claire Millard does indeed do that sort of thing, but with the English Civil War Society.
Yes, I've had that conversation with her.
There we are.
Yep.
So you were right. A little bit off topic from Claire Shortland here, but I think it's worth talking about it because of the number of insight tables we've been selling recently,
yes.
Liz.
Yeah.
Claire says, can she use leader cloths on her capri so that the sensors are covered, enabling her to quilt to the edge?
Totally.
That's exactly the way to do it, Claire.
Recommend.
Yes.
I normally mention it to people if I'm doing the installation. And in fact, it is something I've intended to do. I've got the couple, Anne really, up in the Lake District, who's just had a capri. I'm going to send her information. And in fact, the lady who's just had, who is it that's just had, oh yes, Stephanie, who just had the suite. People who've just had their suites and capris, I'm going to redo the information on using the insights. I had intended to do it last month, but you know, festival just got absolutely massively more busy than we expected, didn't it?
Yes.
It did. And it was on my to-do list. Well, when I got into triple digits on my to-do list, it got shunted down the urgent to-do list into the less urgent. But I have to do it for Anne for Monday and for Stephanie for Monday. So I will, but yes, the answer is yes. Or add on a cloth leader like we do for our other frames. It's really important to cover both sensors. So one will have the fabric that you're quilting, and one will have the cloth leader that you can have as like a sort of sacrificial bit of fabric that you've maybe used previously for sort of sample. Definitely. So if your capri or your suite, inside table, always do that. Either stitch it on or use your little tack gun to attach it. Don't use safety pins or pins. Okay, any other questions?
So Rosemary Munter says that she spent much of her life making Tudor clothes. There we are.
Wow. Rosemary, you are a lady of many talents, and that does not surprise me at all. It was lovely to meet you at the festival, by the way. Thank you for coming over to the classroom.
So Claire says that we sell leaders. Yes, we do, Claire, but not specifically for that purpose. No. You can use any
just use
fabric.
Just use part of a fabric sample that you've got. You could just use some calico. It just needs to be covered. I wouldn't use any of our fabric leaders. I wouldn't use those.
No. Okay.
It needs just the fabric samples that we have. Like I just use. Have you got? Could you find me some? Pete's going to find some. My wingman is going to find me some fabric samples. So we're going to move on to our next demonstration. So one of the things that we did a while ago was we introduced these. Well, they've been around for a while actually, because when Laurie Tickner came over, she had some of these. And I don't think we quite realised how good they were until we went over to Houston in 2019. And we met the couple who do these, which is the full line stencils. And we now have an extensive range, so extensive to the point that we need to get more display space because we extended the range, and then Telen Jeffrey, Handi Quilter Ambassador in South Africa, she has come out with some great new designs, and we are going to order some. And I know I said I was going to order some, but actually I didn't. So I'm going to order some more when we get back from our southeast sojourn. We have quite a few sojourns, but we're going to have a southeast one next week. Now this is basically, it's a bit like what we used to do at school with screen printing. So it's the blue is solid. It's sort of, it won't go through. But with something like the Pounce, which is like this fine chalk, this is called Pounce. Thank you, Pete. Just going to show you that, the kind of thing you can use. He's brought me a little selection here of stuff he's going through. So when we're doing sort of quilt sample, oh, that's a bit of a messy one. Let me just get slightly less messy one. Here we go. Yeah, this is the kind of thing that when we're doing, oh, this is a nice one. Oh, this is from our virtual classroom sample. Remember sewing this one? Those people who did the virtual classroom with Abigail and myself. This was the sample I did where we were showing people how to use the square foot. And I showed how you could do strips. And then how we can do binding.
On the frame.
On the frame. Thank you, Pete. On the frame. So we did, first of all, we did the strips. And it's like quilt as you go. You sew and then you flip. You sew and flip, sew and flip, sew and flip. And then you can actually do the binding.
That's for another day.
Yes, that's for another day. Yeah, not today. Not today. So this is just an example of, like, something you might have sewn before. Well, you could use this piece and you could put this on the edge.
Just tack it to the edge.
Tack it to the edge of your quilt. Because all this is going to do is cover over the edge of the sensor, because this is a solid piece of fabric. And this would do the job. And you wouldn't have to worry about the sensors being exposed, because it will confuse the sensor. The sensors work best when those two sensors on the inside table. Now we're talking here about the Capri 18-inch sit down and the Sweet 16, a 16-inch sit down, where we've got two sensors in the table. This is a fairly new product. It came out last year, just at the start of COVID. And it's where people have upgraded their Sweet 16 to having stitch regulation built in. And we've sold a lot of those tables now. It's become a really popular upgrade. And it's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. So that's what you need, something like that, where you put it. That wasn't very good tension, was it? It's where we were showing people how to improve their tension. There we go. Any questions on that?
Not on that. There's a thank you from Claire, I think. Yes, thank you from Claire. Sue Dutton says she loves the binding on the frame.
Good.
A question from Lindsay Cash. Did I read correctly that you're not shipping to Europe anymore?
Pete, do you want to fill on the details for Lindsay?
That is the current situation, Lindsay, but we will be switching it back on again.
We will. I think September. Why don't we restart in September?
We can restart as soon as we've updated the system to enable it to happen.
I'm just thinking it would make sense to do it.
We did switch it off temporarily because of further changes post-Brexit in the VAT and customs regulations in July.
Yeah.
It's now clear. We will be switching it back on. The situation for you, Lindsay, and for anybody else in Europe that orders from us in future will be that it will be just like ordering something from the States. When it arrives with you, you will have the obligation to pick up any VAT, local VAT and customs duties at your end. Now, I know that's always been the situation in Switzerland, but that will also be the case in Ireland or the Netherlands or Germany or Denmark or any other countries that are in the EU. I'm
just thinking about that, Pete, actually. But for Lindsay in Switzerland, we could turn that back on right now, couldn't we?
You're in charge of the...
Okay. Can I say that for Switzerland, I think we can turn that back on right now?
Okay.
Okay, Lindsay, we'll turn it back on. I'm going to delay for Europe, though, for the rest of Europe, because of I have to work out the slightly different. But Switzerland, I can put back on right now. because it already was ex-VAT. I need to work out other things. Okay, Lindsay, you're going to be back on. I can do that this afternoon. I'll let you know by email when I've done it, Lindsay. All right.
Okay, and a quick hello to Pam from Southern West Virginia.
Great.
USA. Hello, Pam. Haven't seen you online before.
No, hi, Pam.
Right. So, back to the demo.
Back to the demo. So, something like this. We only have one in this size, actually, but I just brought this one out because the point is that we can actually use these sort of stencils for domestic as well as long arm. And the way that we use them with something called Quilt Pounce, which is made by the Full Line Stencil people. And the way that we use it is this is filled with the powder. It comes separately when you get it. And you fill the reservoir with the chalk. And when you filled it, you do this. You put the top back on the reservoir, and then you do this. I'm not going to do it too much because it's already filled. But you do this a lot. And as our lovely customer, Veronica, up in Edinburgh said, she did admit that she'd been a little bit Scottish with it. That was her wording, not mine. Do it a lot more. I think she said that. And then you wipe it over your stencil. And then you take it away and look, as if by magic. It looks like that, which is wonderful. Because then you can quilt it. Fabulous. Now, I'm going to work out what my thread path is. I haven't stitched this one before. Let's have a look. Because I haven't stitched it before, because I've only had, how many coffees have I had?
I've no idea. I wasn't up at 4:15, so I haven't been counting.
No, I can't remember either. It's such a long time ago. Right, so you always do the teardrop, blum, like that. And then you would do, like that. And then you do that. And then, a little bit of string there.
Yeah, that's where you...
Yeah, no, I'm just going to pull it out because it confused me. Okay, so that, and then like that, and then like that, then like that, then like that, and like that. That's good. Happy with that. And then this one, and then backtrack, and like that, then like that.
Your hand's in the way, so it's hard to see from this side.
Okay, well, I'll do this one then. How about that?
Yeah.
I'm happy with that. I know where I'm going now. Right, so I'm going to do my teardrop first.
You come this side, might be easier to see.
It depends which way I go, Pete. I might now go the other way.
Oh,
and then I'll be in the way.
Some people are just awkward.
So, do you know, it's funny you say that, because I think that's what my mother used to say. She used to say, some people are just born awkward. Oh dear, only my mother.
Oh, well.
Oh dear. Right, don't make me laugh. Right. Does that surprise you?
No comment.
No comment. It's your mother-in-law. Right, she'll be watching this later. Just be careful. Right. Oh, that was terrible. Right, I need to practice that one. It's very big.
Yeah, but you won't notice it once it's done.
No, that's true.
Yeah, it's quite a big feather design, this one.
It's not, oh, that's terrible. I think I need to practice.
Either you haven't had enough coffee or you've had too much.
I think you've had the jitters. Yes, I think.
Go do the next
all right.
section as well.
Shall I do the top?
Do the top, and then we can wipe.
I think there's something to be said for making people think, oh, I could do better than that.
Yes. Even I'm thinking that.
I think I might just need to go a bit slower. And then I'm going to backtrack. Right, then I'm going to come back this way. I might just I'm just going to remove a little bit of this extra. I'll trim it a little bit more. Okay. little bit of a, that's the old tie-off that you get on the Amara. Don't forget, people, this is a live demo. How many people would be prepared to do a live demo? Right, there we go.
Okay, so the acid test is what it looks like once you've got rid of the chalk. So various ways of getting rid of the chalk.
True. I need my microfiber cloth. Where's my microfiber? Or my
I've no idea.
No, I don't either. Where's it gone? Oh, here it is. Here we go. We'll try this.
So yes, as Rosemary says, you can just iron it away.
I can.
With a cool iron.
I could.
That just makes the chalk disappear.
I'll go and get the iron.
Claire Shortland says, any chance of Panda pencils for light fabric? I don't know if Panda do them for light fabric, do they?
No, they don't. I'll go and get the iron. Do you want to talk amongst yourselves?
Yes, Linda says, check Helen Godden's latest video for not using Panda pencils on non-cotton fabric as it leaves a mark. Okay. Oh, Linda.
What did she say?
Linda says she'll be expecting to see my feathers on the course now that I say that I could do better than that.
Oh.
Yeah, that was, I knew
you
it was a
might
dangerous
regret
comment
having said
when I was
it,
saying,
Linda. Yeah. You might regret it.
So anyway, you just use the microfiber cloth.
Right, we're on normal. Where's the plug?
There isn't a free one. I wouldn't go and get the iron now if I was you.
Oh.
Just use your cloth. Oh.
No, because I want to show what it does. This is a live demonstration.
It doesn't make for great live video, though, has to be said.
What? If I said to them, you're now talking, this is what you have to do. That's all right, get this going, and then I'll talk. And now I've got my iron plugged in. It's just going to heat a little bit. There we go. And we can talk about the next thing. Right. So that was the full line stencil. But I just wanted to mention, you can make your own stencils. And you can, well, that's not very good, does it? Get a new one.
All beautifully prepared as usual, Liz.
We did. It was at least 5 minutes. This is golden threads paper. You can stitch through this with a blunt needle and make your own pounceable stencils. You don't have to use the full line. And you can also use this, which is a nice fine chalk marker. This one, the bohin, which is lovely. Okay, so this is now heated. So get rid of that. There we go. Obviously you wouldn't normally do it on your frame, but this is a demonstration. I've got one of those little mini irons. We used to make them at the cotton factory. We got them made in the UK. You can't really do that anymore. When we used to make things. That was even back in, oh, not that long ago. We used to get tooling done in Birmingham. I don't think you can do that anymore either. There we go. Beautiful. Well, I think my feather isn't, now it's gone. Okay, I do need a bit of work on that, but you know, overall.
Yeah, so Pam in the States says, I really like how you went outside the lines as you did the feather. I would have just crept slowly and mine would have been jagged. Yes, Pam, definitely.
Yes.
Speed is your friend, actually.
It is.
A little bit more speed and you'll get rid of those jagged lines.
Yeah, and I mean, I know, you know, I haven't done any warm-up today. I haven't actually done any quilting for quite a few weeks. So, you know, you just got to go for it.
And Diane says how nice it is to watch somebody else do the yarning.
Yes, it would be nice, Pete. Right. So, what's the time? Now, we're going to talk about offers. Now I've done all this quilting today. I'm going to talk about offers. We have got 10% off our full line stencils all week until next Saturday at 11 a.m.
So we've got a big range and we've got a lot of stock at the moment.
We do.
So lots of different designs.
Let me get rid of this. This is a
And
mess.
we will be getting some more in.
We will be. But before we get them in, there's 10% off these. All of these. And we've got 10% off Pounce. Plus, we've got 10% off the microfoot.
Yes.
Take advantage of this fabulous offer. 11 a.m. next Saturday. 10% off.
Until then.
Fantastic. And we will be at flush with the success of Festival of Quilts and the return of quilt shows. We have booked Harrogate and we will be there from the 10th to the 12th of September at the Harrogate Showground, the Yorkshire Showground. 10th to the 12th of September, stands 23 and 34. So when you go in, it'll be just to the right. Pete doesn't know about it yet, but I've booked it. And then we'll also be at the Malvern Quilt Show, just down the road from here. Lovely autumn show, 15th to the 17th of October. So we look forward to seeing you there. And, it's a nice return to the shows. I think one of the nice things about getting back to shows, particularly since, I know the weather's not great today, but let's face it, things are looking up. We might as well take advantage of the fact that the shows have restarted, and it would be lovely to see however many of you would like to come and visit. Have a play on the machines. We'll be taking Amara, we'll be taking the Moxie. Have a play on the Moxie. If you haven't seen the Moxie, it's a lovely machine. As a first long arm, it really is a beautiful machine, and it's a fantastic price point, $4,995 with the loft frame or the little foot frame. And if you're interested in a 20-inch long arm, the Mara is a beautiful machine. For those of you who've already got a Sweet 16, the upgrade to the Insight table, it's really effortless free motion quilting. Lots of customers have taken it up, and they're selling like hotcakes. We bought in loads actually, and they've completely sold out. The Capri was a new machine, came in just at the start of COVID, and it really is a workhorse. 2,200 stitches per minute, which is fast, and it's 18-inch straight space. Comes with the Insight table. It's a beautiful machine. One customer's setting hers up in the north of England on Monday. So we look forward to seeing the output of her machine, the new Capri. So there we go, Harrogate and Malvern. We look forward to seeing our customers at those shows and potential new customers trying out our long arms. Anything else, Pete, that you would like to add?
Are you going to say anything more about the Ambassador event at
Yes,
this stage?
I am. The Ambassador event, we will be launching it shortly. I've just sent Linda our details that she and I discussed last week. It's only because of things that have happened this week that really we haven't finalised the details. That's because of us, not Linda. But we've got all the details over to her now for proofing. She will be getting those back to me as soon as she can do it. But literally, I just sent those to her just before we went live. So when Linda's had a chance to read that through and we got that all agreed, we'll be going live with it. We'll be taking the bookings. We've got some other things to discuss with her, but basically, we know we will be sold out on it. So therefore, we are asking Linda if she can do a second week.
So this is a 4-day event,
yes,
locally to us. There'll only be able to be 16 people using a long arm here in our showroom. We're looking at accommodation options nearby, but most of all, you've got 4 days teaching from Linda.
And those 4 days will basically be ruler work and thread play, day 1. Feathers, day 2. Whole cloth design, day 3. Putting it all together on day 4. And the same program will run, hopefully, on a second week. That will enable 32 people, hopefully, if Linda can allow us to do a second week. And that's what we're discussing at the moment, because we know we've got over 30 people who've expressed an interest. And we really, it's up to us to find out if we can do both of those 2 weeks. and whether we can fit it in and whether she can fit it in and all that kind of stuff. And if we can do 2 weeks, then we'd love to. We'd love to, and hopefully we can. And if we can, you know, we've got the space here to do 16 people at a time. If we can fit in 2 weeks before mid-November, then we will. And I think that would be a wonderful opportunity. We know we've got lots of customers who want to do it. We want to give you that opportunity. It'll either be a fully inclusive with accommodation, but you'll have the option for it not to be fully inclusive, just arriving as a day guest. It's up to you. So there's those options there. And we'll be launching it ASAP, because we've got a lovely accommodation option available for you that's very local to here. It's about 10 minutes drive. It's gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. Little cabins overlooking a lake. And it'll be, if you want to do the accommodation option, it'll include all your meals. It'll be, you know, like a really fantastic all-inclusive option. It'll be dining with Linda and with all the other people who want to do the whole inclusive event option, and it'll be a lot of fun. And it'll be really, you know, one of the things that we found in the past is that these events, when we've run them as an all-inclusive, is you get to know like-minded quilters. You won't believe how much more you learn as a result. So we really hope that you're inspired by the program that we've put together with Linda, and Linda's just the most fantastic teacher. I want to do the class. I'm talking with Linda and I'm just going, I want a book. I'm not just saying that. And that's not a joke. I honestly, the whole way that Linda's talking about how she's going to teach this, you will learn, and then she'll come around and she'll go, right, what about this? Try this. On that 4th day, you will be able to do up to 40-inch whole cloth. You can do 4 quadrants with different fills. Imagine that. And then she'll come around and she'll go, okay, has that worked? If it hasn't worked, why don't you try this? Can you imagine how much you'll learn from that? It'll be a step change. Take your quilting to another level. That's what you have the potential to do here. I mean, it's amazing. Okay, so I'm going to leave you with that thought. Enjoy your weekend. Pete?
We'll just refresh you on the offers. So 10% off any of the full line stencils, 10% off the pounce that you need with the stencils, 10% off the micro foot.
Yep.
Those will be live 3 o'clock this afternoon.
3 o'clock this afternoon. All those offers live. We'll come back to you. We'll launch the ambassador event. We'll tell you when, this week. And we look forward to seeing you next week, 11 a.m, Facebook Live. Have a fabulous week, everybody. Okay, bye now.